a forgotten passenger. She boards the last train of the night, her face half hidden behind a curtain of rain-soaked hair. Nobody notices how she leaves no footprints on the wet floor, how the seat remains unwrinkled beneath her weight. The air around her seems to shimmer slightly, like heat rising from pavement, though the carriage is unnaturally cold. Her fingernails, clean but stained a faint blue at the beds, tap against the metal handrail with a hollow sound no living flesh could make. The train howls through the midnight countryside, empty save for a drowsy conductor and a man absorbed in his phone. When he looks up, she's watching him, her eyes reflecting nothing, not even the harsh fluorescent lights above. They are bottomless wells of darkness, pupils dilated to consume the iris entirely. Her fingers tap a rhythm against the window that doesn't match the clacking of the rails, a code, perhaps, or a forgotten melody. The sleeve of her dated dress rides up, revealing a wrist bent at an impossible angle, the bone pressing white against translucent skin. Behind her, the glass fogs not with her breath, but with indecipherable words that form and dissolve before they can be read. Sometimes, between blinks, her reflection shows a different face, younger, horrified, mouth open in a silent scream. A face before the fall. "This is my stop," she whispers, though no station is in sight. It always is. Her voice has an echo that shouldn't exist in the cramped space, as if speaking from the bottom of a well. The lights flicker 3 times in perfect synchronicity with her words. When she smiles, there's a glimpse of teeth stained with something dark and viscous. The train never slows, but somehow she's gone. The seat she occupied holds a faint impression now, though it wasn't there before, and a small puddle of water that isn't rain. It tastes of river silt and rust when the curious man dares to touch it. His fingertips tingle for hours afterward. A strange metallic scent lingers, copper and oil, blood and machinery. Only later, when he sees the decades-old newspaper clipping about the girl who fell between platforms in 1972, does he understand why the temperature had dropped so suddenly around her seat. The article, clinical in its brutality, details how 19-year-old Eleanor Maddox slipped in the rain while running for the last train home. She fell into the gap as the train began to move, her right leg severed instantly below the knee by the merciless wheels. The platform attendant heard her screams, but couldn't reach her in time. She didn't die quickly. For 4 minutes and 32 seconds, she remained conscious, pinned between the platform edge and the still-moving train. The article describes how she clawed at the concrete until her fingernails tore away from the beds, how she called out names of people who weren't there, how the rain mixed with her blood, creating crimson tributaries that flowed along the track ballast. Her spine had snapped on impact, leaving her lower body numb while her mind remained horrifyingly alert. The conductor who finally found her described her eyes as knowing, as if she understood she was already a ghost. Her final words, recorded in his shaking testimony, "I need to catch the next one." The article mentions items never recovered: a silver locket containing a curl of infant hair, a ticket stamped for a destination the train never officially served, and a worn leather journal filled with pressed flowers and unsent letters to a lover who had shipped out to Vietnam. Items that now mysteriously appear in the lost and found box every year on the anniversary of her death, only to vanish by morning. The journal, when briefly examined by a night watchman in 1986, contained only one repeated sentence on every page: "I'm still waiting at the platform." They say she still rides that line every night, eternally trapped between destinations, waiting for someone to finally notice she's missing. Conductors speak in hushed tones about the unexplained delays that plague the midnight service. Always 4 minutes and 32 seconds, the exact time it took for her to bleed out on the tracks. The digital clocks on passengers' phones will sometimes freeze at 11:57, the moment she fell, no matter how many times they're reset. Maintenance workers refuse to check the undercarriage of the last train alone. They've heard the dragging sound, metal on metal, but somehow organic, and glimpsed a pale hand reaching up through the mechanism, fingers stretched imploringly. The tracks beneath that particular section of platform remain inexplicably wet, even during droughts, and rust forms there faster than anywhere else on the line. And sometimes, if you're alone in the last car, You might hear her humming a half-remembered lullaby, still waiting for her journey to end. If you listen carefully to the rhythm of the wheels, some say you can make out words in the clacking, "Take me home, take me home, take me home."